Hello. I don't know what that was. Welcome back to my channel. I'm coming at you today with another video, and I'm actually really excited about this one because I love talking about these sort of topics simply because it just A, reminds me of my own journey and how far I've come, and B, like, you know,
the world needs more of this.
So I'm just going to put more of this out there and hope that it's going to reach people. So today's video is 3 ways to live a happier life. What is happiness?
Why is it such an enigma?
Biggest question, what do we actually have to do to be happy? It seems like the general consensus is that you actually have to do a number of things before you can achieve happiness. Once I build a house, I'll be happy. Once my kid gets into a really good university, I'll be happy. I know a lot of us do this, but let's actually take a step back and think about what we're saying to ourselves. We're telling ourselves that our happiness, which comes from within, is dependent on all these external factors. And until these external factors are achieved, we're not going to be happy.
That sounds absurd.
And I believe the reason why we think that happiness is external to us is because we look at it as an achievement when we should be looking at it as something that is just a state of being. It's something that comes from within. It's something that you need to consistently work on. It's definitely something that's not easy to begin with, but it gets easier over time as you build the habits and the mindset and the attributes that go along with being a happier person. So today we'll talk about the 3 things, and these 3 things are science-based. So sit back, relax, and take it all in. So number 1, gratitude. What actually is gratitude? It's simply the act of being thankful, and you can be thankful about absolutely everything and anything. Let me tell you what I do to be grateful day in and day out. I actually start my day with gratitude. So as I notice that I'm coming out of unconsciousness into that consciousness, you know that space where you're kind of awake but not really awake, and you don't know if you're dreaming or you're not dreaming. When I realize that I'm in that state, what I do is start thinking of things that I'm grateful for. So if I'm lying in bed and I'm half asleep, I begin with, I'm so grateful for how comfy my bed is and how warm my blanket is. I'm so grateful for the birds chirping outside of my window. I'm so grateful that it's such a beautiful day today. It's going to be such a beautiful day today. I can't wait to see what today has in store for me. I know this might sound a little bit absurd, but see how it's impossible for you to be in a bad mood if you're just sitting there thanking things, and thanking things that you may not even believe to be a big deal. Not only is this getting you out on the right side of the bed, it's also guiding your reticular activating system, or your RAS. So there's thousands of pieces of information that are constantly being picked up by your 5 senses. The role of your RAS is to sort through all of this and bring into your experience only a handful of these pieces of information. So have you ever noticed that you start thinking about blue cars and all of a sudden you're seeing blue cars everywhere? That's you telling your RAS that this is what I want to see. Similarly, when we wake up in the morning in gratitude, we've actually guided our RAS on what to bring into our experience that day. That's the number 1 thing that's going to bring more happiness into your life. Gratitude. Number 2, social connection. Believe it or not, being around other people and connecting socially with other people actually makes us happier. And there's a load of benefits as well to socially connecting and interacting with other people on a regular basis. You're less likely to fall prey to stressful situations. You're more likely to beat any diseases that you might have. You're actually less vulnerable to premature death. Let me tell you a little research that was done, or experiment that was done by Epley and colleagues. What they wanted to experiment is see if socially connecting with people actually makes you happier, even if they're a stranger. So they went onto a train and they got a group of people to agree to take part in the study for them. They had 3 different groups. The first one was just a control group, which is do what you normally do. The second one was a solitude group, which were people that were not allowed to engage with anyone. The third one was a connection group. So these people needed to go out and start conversations with others on the train and build that social connection. Prior to this experiment beginning, they asked them, what do you think is going to happen? Almost everyone predicted that the solitude situation is going to increase happiness levels because it's too awkward connecting with other people and talking to other people. What they found was the exact opposite. They found that people who socially connected with others were far happier than people that just sat there by themselves. The happiness levels across the board were higher. Essentially, what that means is go out with your friends more, hang out with people more, talk to strangers on the train or on the bus or while you're walking. And for my introverted friends, push yourself
Just a little bit.
to go hang out with people a little bit more. I know you love staying at home by yourself, it's your favorite place, but this is actually good for you. So give it a shot. Number 3, acts of kindness. Maybe not something that you were expecting. So research conducted by Otake and colleagues in 2006 actually found that happier people are more motivated to do kinder things, remember these things a lot more, and also seek out ways to be kinder when compared to unhappy people. And here's ironically a case in point. So a few days before I was shooting this video, I was at my local shopping center and I was walking back to my car. I noticed that there was this older gentleman, perhaps late 70s, late 80s, who had a trolley or shopping cart.
For those of you that don't know what a trolley is,
I was umming and ahhing about whether I should ask him what's wrong. And finally I bit the bullet and I said, "Hey, are you okay?" And he said to me that he couldn't find his car. So I said, "No worries at all. Let's go find your car." Turns out he'd just gone to the wrong side of the parking lot. He was very thankful, but when I tell you the impact this little act of kindness had on me, I was the
happiest person.
for the rest of the day. I was singing, I was dancing. I mean, for the rest of the day, I was the happiest person. I woke up in a pretty great mood as it is, but this took me to the next level, and the impact it had on me, not just for an hour or 2 hours, but for the rest of the day, was huge. So that was it. The 3 things: gratitude, social connection, and acts of kindness. By no means is there an expectation for you to implement all of these into your life at once. In fact, I would highly recommend you don't, but start with one, make it a routine, and then go on to the next one. You'll be better off for it.